you very much. Now, the next question goes to Dr. Olga Cavalli. Dr. Olga is also my colleague as another facilitator, high-level facilitator. I have two questions here for you, Dr. Olga. Number one of the pillars of the information society is the multi-stakeholder model. How can capacity building activities have an impact on the reinforcement of the multi-stakeholder model, especially focusing on the diversity of stakeholders from developing economics? This is question number one. And question number two is the travel restriction and social gathering limitation have a great impact on several meetings for capacity building. It seems that in the future, there might be less traveling for the capacity building meetings. How can these training activities be redesigned to make them visually attractive for the audiences and at the same time relevant in relation to content and participations? I pass the floor to you, Dr. Olga.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan, for the questions, and good morning from Buenos Aires, Argentina, afternoon, evening to our audience and to our colleagues in the panel. Yes, as you said, the multi-stakeholder model is one of the most important achievements in the international relations dialogues focused on the internet and the ICTs. It enables a constructive and equal footing dialogue among the different actors of the internet ecosystem. For it to have a real impact and achieve relevant outcomes and allow to innovate ideas to reach different regulatory bodies in different countries, it is very important that it includes all the different stakeholders: government, civil society, private sector, academia, and technical community. But to achieve real relevance, there must be a strong representation of all the regions of the world. Among the most successful and long-lasting multi-stakeholder dialogue spaces, we find the WSIS Forum, the WSIS Process, and, for example, the Internet Governance Forum. In relation with the IGF, the Internet Governance Forum, in its early years, 2006, 2007, we noticed that the participation of Latin America and the Caribbean region was the lowest compared with other regions of the world. Latin America, as each region of the world, has its own reality, which must be taken in consideration during all dialogues involving the use of ICTs and development. Its impact in the environment, in the digital divide, gender divide, efficient use of spectrum coordination, among many other issues. So to enhance the relevant representation of Latin America and the Caribbean in the different multi-stakeholder dialogue spaces, including those IGF and ICANN and WSIS that I already mentioned, among others, we founded the South School of Internet Governance. So the main objective of this training program, the South School of Internet Governance, is to enhance the relevant participation of regional representatives to these multi-stakeholder spaces that bring the ideas of Latin America and the needs of the region to those spaces. So the school provides an intense training from the technical side up to social, economic, security, and privacy issues for those who are interested in an open, secure, and resilient internet, and who believe that the internet and ICT is a fundamental issue for the development of countries and for the whole region. The attendees of the school are the ones to represent our region in those different multi-stakeholder dialogue spaces. So the school started in 2009 and has been organized since then in different countries of the whole Americas, granting fellowships to all the participants, to thousands of participants. The fellowship includes the training, the hotel, meals, simultaneous translation, Spanish, English, and the 2 times that it was organized in Brazil, also translation into Portuguese, simultaneous translation all the time. The school allows also for remote participation and has always full gender balance among fellows. With speakers, it's more complicated. Many of the fellows of the South School of Internet Governance are now highly involved in different organizations, government officials dealing with the use of the internet for development, regulators, board members of different organizations, staff members of dedicated researchers in the internet and development. And since 2017, we founded the Argentina School on Internet Governance with the same spirit. So answering your question, this is a clear example of a capacity building activity which has been fundamental to reinforce the multi-stakeholder model, enhancing the relevant participation of representatives of Latin American and Caribbean region in this international multi-stakeholder dialogue spaces. On the second question about changing to virtual meetings, changing the format of a face-to-face meeting into a virtual one is not an easy task, even though we had remote participation. So the social interaction in face-to-face meeting makes them more rich in relation with the exchange of ideas, dialogue, and knowledge. So the need for social distancing has changed that completely. So the challenging for virtual meetings is for them to be visually attractive and interesting, to capture the attention of the audience, which can be easily distracted by different activities that happen at home. The experience of TV shows can be used to create a different virtual event. So with this idea, we started to evaluate how to organize the first virtual edition of the South School of Internet Governance after 12 years of doing it face-to-face with remote participation. After talking with several companies who were experienced in television industry, we found one that could capture our idea and our desires. So the first virtual edition of the South School of Internet Governance happened in October 2020 with a TV show style format using TV studio, who were some of us coordinating, very few of us coordinating the event, with high definition cameras, a lot of equipment, high definition video equipment. All panelists and fellows were participating from remote. And these elements created a brand new visual experience for both, for the audience and for the experts who were participating. The number of virtual fellows grew up to 500, more than 500, and there were 130 experts participating from all over the world in a 5-day intensive training program, which included simultaneous translation as usual, and transmission also in social networks for all the community. So all the videos and sessions are in our YouTube channel, SSIG LAC. All the content is available there and separated into the almost 50 sessions. So perhaps in the future we can gather again together, but for sure this experience with the virtual environment will remain as an important part of the meeting, allowing blended format, a mixed format, face-to-face and remote, with many more expert and fellows participating, some face-to-face and some others virtually. And thank you very much for the opportunity of participating on your questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olga. Well, I have to agree with you. We have a lot of challenges implementing the virtual classroom as well. We face that all the time. So I believe same thing happened, and you also face the similar challenges. Now, can we know that how many participants do you get in a year or in a month?
Well, that's in the face-to-face meeting, we had to up 250 in face-to-face participants. The last face-to-face meeting was in Mexico City in the Secretary of Economy. We had there up to 300, but virtually we had, for example, one of the meetings that was organized in the Organization of American States building in Washington, D.C., we had 25,000 remote participants, and there were spontaneous hubs organized, for example, in the Caribbean, in universities, because we had translation. So it's the powerful of remote participation is very strong, but the face-to-face interaction cannot be replaced. So we hope to meet in person in the near future.
Sure. Thank you very much.